What is up, everybody? Some guy who cooks here, and as I'm sure you well know, it is salad month, so we're going to continue with that trend by making a Waldorf salad today. We're gonna do some of it on the Blackstone, and I bet you're wondering, how in the world are you making a Waldorf salad on the Blackstone? Well, and that's a little deceiving on my part. It's not the whole thing, it's just the toasted walnuts. Regardless, this is a great salad, it's super simple, and it's really nice. So what do we need? We need lettuce. I've got iceberg here. We also need 2 apples, about a cup of grapes, preferably red or black. I got some of the black seedless grapes. We also need about a cup of walnuts that we're going to, toast. We need a stalk of celery, and we need about a tablespoon of lemon juice, plus salt and pepper to taste. And as you can see, these golden berries here, I've decided to add some gooseberries to my Waldorf salad today. Oh, and one more ingredient. You need 6 tablespoons, so about a third of a cup plus a little bit of either mayonnaise or yogurt. I'm using yogurt. Today's video not sponsored by Dannon. So let's kick things off with our apples first. Chop up both apples just like that. Throw them in the bowl. Now before we do any more slicing and dicing, we want to add our lemon juice to the apples, about a tablespoon of it. Not only does it add flavor, it also helps them keep from browning. I know there's not a big issue with flavor when it comes to the browning, but it's just a whole pretty thing, it's aesthetics. Another squeeze. There we go. Next up, we want to cut our grapes and our gooseberries in half. Now the grapes, you can cut them in half however you like. I like to do it right down the center there, not down the top line, but down the middle, just because. Although I suppose it doesn't matter all that much, it's just however you prefer. I will, however, say that you want to cut the gooseberries not along with the stem here, but down that middle, just like I prefer with the grapes, just because of the way it looks as well. It is an aesthetics thing, I know, but it's a lot prettier that way, and I'll show you an example here. Now this is the one that was cut stem side. As you can see, all the seeds are kind of interspersed. Not really much rhyme or reason to the pattern of the seeds. However, when you cut it down the middle the other way, you can see the seeds here, they kind of have a circular pattern around the outside edge, and then just a small dot in the middle. It's just a lot more aesthetically pleasing when you cut these this way. And again, be careful when you do this. These things are tiny and they like to roll, so you need a very sharp knife. And you need some precision. Do not cut yourself. We're wanting about 1 cup of these grapes, and I just added a little less than that of the gooseberries, however many you like. We'll scoop those right into the bowl with the rest of them. Next up is our celery, which you want to slice very thin. However, I prefer to dice it smaller. So what I'm going to do is cut it lengthways right down the middle, and both these stalks, I'm actually going to cut them in half as well. After that, go ahead and size them up next to each other, and we're going to very carefully, once again, slice and dice. I do have an episode about chopping and stuff. Make sure you keep your knuckle right up against the side of that blade so you don't cut yourself. Use that to guide your knife as you chop. You can control the thickness of these bits, and you keep your hand from getting cut or anything from getting chopped off by this very, very sharp knife. And we're using 1 stalk of celery. Into the bowl it goes. Now for our lettuce, I've already taken out the core. This we're just going to roughly chop. I'm going to put it in half here. And then we're just going to do nice strips. Look how easy that shreds. And this is iceberg. You can use iceberg if you like. You could use romaine if you like, whatever you want. We're going to leave all this here for now. Our next step is the yogurt. Like I said, about a third of a cup. However, you need a little bit more than that. So you can either measure out the 6 tablespoons, or you can take the third of a cup and just eyeball a little bit extra, which is what I'm gonna do. Now, you should be using plain, non-sweetened yogurt. However, I am using a vanilla yogurt that has a little bit of sweetener in it, just because I like that little bit of extra sweetness it adds to the Waldorf. I know we got a lot of sweet fruits, but I got a sweet tooth. What can I say? So here we go. We got a third of a cup that's it's a hefty third, so let a little bit of that come off of there, but you know, if you go a little heavy on your measurement here, that's okay. Like I said, we need a little more than 1/3 of a cup in this. So here we go. It's just gonna go right on down into our bowl here, and go ahead and wipe this clean so you get as much of that yogurt as possible. And this is it, guys, the part where we toast the walnuts. I've got this Blackstone up to about 350, 375. And, you know, I guess it's time to see how well a Blackstone roasts nuts. Come on, walnuts, it's time to toast. Now, really, you only need about a cup of walnuts, which that seems like it's probably a little more than that, but I'm okay with that. I love walnuts. I'm actually going to turn the heat up a little bit, guys, to about 400, and I'm going to close this top so that they kind of bake in here a little bit. We want to trap that heat. Man, I can smell these things, guys, and they smell great. I'm going to give them one more little toss before throwing them into our mix here. And I lost one to the grease tray. Darn you, grease tray! Here we go. No walnut left behind. Add some salt. A little bit of pepper. Grab a big spoon and stir it around. Wah! Now, assembly is simple. You want a bed of lettuce that you're gonna put this stuff on. So we're just gonna grab a few shreds of our lettuce, and we're going to, maybe one more shred, and then we're gonna get a nice big spoonful of our Waldorf mix right on top. In fact, we're gonna get a couple spoonfuls of it, okay? We'll make sure we got plenty of those toasted walnuts, plus plenty of all the other good stuff here. Now, I'll be honest, I like my salads to be heavy on dressing, and this is obviously not heavy on dressing. However, I'm going to try it as it's meant to be, like this. All right, the fork ain't working so well, so I'm gonna use the big spoon, which is also not working perfectly either, but it's working better than the spoon. So here we go. I want to make sure I got a couple of these walnuts, I've got a couple of grapes, and I've got some apple, and you know, I also want one of these gooseberries here. So yeah, nice big bite of Waldorf salad with gooseberries. Yeah, that's great. I know I said I like to have a very, very dressing heavy salad, but really doesn't need it. There's plenty of flavor and juice coming from the apples and the grapes and the gooseberries, and gosh, it really all just comes together perfectly. It doesn't need any extra dressing, and you know, that little bit of yogurt does kind of add a little bit to it as well. It's kind of the thing that binds all of it together. So yeah, definitely a great salad. I'd like to add just a pinch more salt if I had more salt, and maybe a little dash more pepper, but that stuff, again, that's to taste. So yeah, give it a shot, guys. Waldorf salad, super simple, super delicious, and you can do it on the Blackstone. Until next time, everybody, I'll see you again for Salad Monday.